Hello, and welcome to part 13 of Revolutionary North Zebrica. I do have a slight bit of bad news for you, the viewer, that college is starting back on up, so there's an alright chance I'm not going to be able to upload quite as frequently as I have been, but you know, I'll do the best I can. Abolish the CSR. The CSR has served the revolution well, but has achieved its purpose. The time has come to replace it, and ensure the committee never becomes a weapon to stifle dissent or silence the people. The People's Department for Spreading the Revolution will help our comrades abroad find their revolutionary voice. Yeah, because, like, spending... The videos also might end up being a little shorter. I don't really know exactly. Right now, it'll still be the same length. But if I start having less time because of college, because the first week isn't that bad. But as time goes on, I can't guarantee it stays that way. Alright. For you guys that I've been thinking, wow, he just keeps building nuclear reactors. He's gonna destroy his economy. After the ones I have being set to build, I am gonna build more civilian factories. It's sad. It is. It is. It truly is. But I am okay. Give it one day and let's see how fast I build. Give it one more thing, and I am building nukes in like a week, so it is fair that I don't really need that many more nuclear bases when I'm building a nuke a week, but at the same time, nuke, good, nuke, very good. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. Plus, I think my biggest bit. I'm very curious to see how this tree ends with this part. The world is a much better place than it was before the revolution. Reaction has never been weaker, communism has never been stronger, and the liberation of creature kind is at hoof. Not foot, hoof. But this is only the beginning. Soon, we swear, a workers' federation of planets will spread across the stars. You too, Starry Eyes. You too. Hawkland is just chilling here. With them being huge, and them being huge, and them both completely surrounding them, I really wasn't expecting Hawkland to be an independent nation. But, you know, good on them, I guess. Northern Storm has gone from having this much left to have to fight to almost being dead. But at the same time, they have a very defensible position and an unknown amount of troops. So, you know, there's a chance they can continue to hold out for a long time. Hey! You did it! That took you way too long, but you did it! Woo! Well, actually, boo! Well, neutral-ish, because they were a horrible nation, but they were defending against you, who is also a horrible nation. So, you know. Alright. I am very curious about this one. Does it get another extension, or like what happens? That's what I'm very curious. I have no idea how long this focus tree gets. General Secretary, Starry Eyes, Starry, wake up! Ah! Starry Eyes cried, lifting her head off the desk. Standing over her was Skystar, her uniform coat unbuttoned. The office clock read 4 a.m. Sorry, comrade. I got a little carried away with work, Starry said, rubbing her eyes, and I was having the most wonderful dream. Really? Skystar asked. What were you dreaming about? The future. Let me guess. A super advanced utopia with space travel? No. Or she shakes her head. I've always looked up to Pazda, but that doesn't mean we agree on everything. She takes technological progress is the key to communism, but I'm not so sure. Technology advances under capitalism too, and it just leads to more exploitation. Then what do you think we should be focusing on? Social relations. As Marx wrote, the revolution must completely transform the way creatures relate to each other. Everyone must put the needs of others first. Skystar raised an eyebrow. So everyone needs to stop being selfish? It's more like there won't be such a thing as selfishness anymore, because what's best for the group will also be best for the individual, Starry explained. Think of it like this. Long ago, the pony tribes of Equestria were always at each other's throats, but then they learned to see each other as one united pony kind. Imagine if all creatures could see each other like that. Imagine a world where friendship and love are free from the constraints of group and class identity. Do you really think that's possible? Skystar asked, still skeptical. Excuse me. We can't force people to change. It has to happen naturally. But I think we can create the conditions necessary for that change to take place, Starry smiled. And I know it's possible to put the needs of others before your own. After all, you came in late just to check on me, Skystar giggled. And Starry joined in. They both went to bed and dreamed of a better future. A new beginning for creature kind. Give me the next event. That's not the event I was talking about, but that works too. Despite being plagued by setback, Project Tank Butter has produced a working prototype of a new generation of artillery. For the first time, our rocket artillery units will be able to deploy unmatched firepower of nuclear warheads. The limited number of these weapons, combined with the inherent contradictions between the strategic nature of nuclear weapons and the rapidly changing nature of ground warfare, means that actual combat deployment of these weapons will be rare. This is compounded by the appallingly poor accuracy of the design, which is inaccurate and short-ranged, even compared to standard rocket artillery. Still, the mere existence of this weapon will give the enemy pause, as any enemy armored detachment which crosses upon ground exposes itself to being vaporized or else irradiated, even though the best armor, and it could also potentially prove useful against static fortifications. Not as useful as we hoped, but a valuable advantage. And, sure. Our Pioneer Corps could benefit from the recent... The recent explosion of new... of new uses for nuclear technology. If we could engineer a safe, reliable demolition charge with a nuclear payload... Safe, nuclear, good luck... It would make collapsing large buildings and clearing out the biggest minefields so much easier. They could also serve quite well as area denial weapons. Apple trees will bloom amongst the stars. Starry Eyes looked out over the crowd and smiled. All of her comrades were there, even Posita. Skystar stood beside her, giving the General Secretary an encouraging look. Without further ado, Starry began her speech. I know it's hard to believe, but I wasn't always interested in space. When I was growing up, I thought space travel was the stuff of science fiction, completely impossible in the real world. Even when I met Posita and she convinced me that it could happen one day, I didn't think it was very important. We have so many problems to solve down here, so why should we waste our time trying to get up there? But that was before I understood what space really means. Space isn't just an infinite vacuum outside our atmosphere, it's so much more than that. It represents our aspirations, our hope that one day we will reach the distant stars. It represents infinite possibilities, infinite resources, infinite wonders. More than anything, it represents our curiosity, our desire to know what's out there and who's out there. In short, it's the final frontier of scientific discovery. Space travel is currently beyond our capabilities, though we grow closer every year. To achieve the dream of reaching the stars, we will need scientists and aeronautical engineers, but that won't be enough. All the experts in the world would never achieve anything if the people didn't value their work. That is why we must help creatures to understand the importance of space, help them to make the same discovery I did. And that is why it was my great honor to dedicate the new Ain Trotica Observatory, where future generations will gaze upon the stars and learn about the wonders of space. Space, the final frontier. Is that it? It said thank you for playing Posita. Apparently I also have a focus on peace. So, this part, just like the last time I said this part might be cut out, this part actually legitimately might be cut out if this is the end. And I'm gonna reload that save and check out trying to do that World Conquest-y looking one. Because this is a peaceful one. Next we fight the entirety of the world. Well, actually, since I talked about that, I probably won't cut that part out now that I think about it. Though I'll probably cut out after this point.